Welcome to the C Word Podcast. I'm Semaj, and I greet you in the love and the light of the infinite Creator. Don't let the name fool you. The C, as you will find, is all about you. What we desire to do here is create a conversation around my book, The C Word, and some of the principles behind it, to lead you, the seeker, on a journey of freedom. Freedom from limiting thoughts, borrowed beliefs, and false perceptions. A journey of self-truth. If you're already on a path, then it's to help bring clarity on the journey. I've walked the path. I can help you identify the walls you've built and the ruts that you're in, and give you some tools to create a new life. I'm a hands-on healer of energy and light, teacher of my own integrative flow technique. I'm a student of the universal law of one, and a certified life coach, helping you to get clear your direction. I'm called father, husband, grandfather, Sifu, and guru. I'm on this journey with you. We are one. My desire is to live this quote, which simply says, "The best teachers are those who show you where to look, but don't tell you what to see." Let's begin. Welcome to the C Word Podcast. This is Semaj. I hope everyone is having a wonderful life, finding the best you can find in it. I hope you enjoyed the cave series, and I hope that everyone listening is making their way out of the cave, whatever cave they might be experiencing. I'm hoping for each and every one of you that you find your way out. So I know you've heard me say this before, but this episode is about a book from my life that has eternally changed my operating system and that of countless others. The book is The Four Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. And it's literally available everywhere. You can find this book, Amazon, any place. But it's one of those books that I wish every human could get it and live by it to the best of their ability. So this is what it's all about. Showing you where to look, but not telling you what to see. Let's begin. This is episode 7. I call it Agree or Disagree. That is the question. The Four Agreements, it's another one of the books that I give to every person that I coach as a conversation starter and sometimes just as homework. So let's get a little history about the book, The Four Agreements. Don Miguel Ruiz, the author, is what's known as a Nagual or master, and he was born into the lineage of the Toltec ancestry. He, at the writing of this book, was guided to share this book of wisdom with the rest of us. And here's a quote from the book. Toltec knowledge arises from the same essential unity of truth as all esoteric traditions found around the world. Though it's not a religion, it honors all the spirit masters who've been taught on earth. While it does embrace spirit, it is most accurately described as a way of life, distinguished by the ready accessibility of happiness and love. Now myself, I like to think of this book like I'm one of the people just leaving the cave, if you remember the last series. My eyes are now open after seeing more than I could even imagine, experiencing a whole new reality that I can't even call reality because it never even existed until I saw it. Navigating this outside the cave thing, my current life, maybe yours too, is going to be challenging, especially with other people that you have to deal with. I was looking for a standard to set as a guideline for an approach to life that allowed for love and balance, as well as my own self-discovery. In steps Don Miguel Ruiz and the Toltec Wisdom Book. No full spoilers here, okay? This is not going to be a book report per se. Did anybody else hate those in school? I used to hate those days. Anyway, my first impression, because you know how much I love reading, right? Was that, well, at least it's a little book. But if you've been on this road for any amount of time, you know that sometimes it's the little things that make the biggest difference. But once we begin reading, we start to understand the concept of dream life, or living a dream, and creating a dream, and how our attention is captured. At a young age, we are all tuned in to how we're supposed to be. That sound familiar already? So this is where it begins again. Understanding how to create your own dream. Let's look at the 4 agreements themselves. First, as described by the book, then we'll talk about each one separately. Number 1, the first agreement. Be impeccable with your word. Speak with integrity. Say only what you mean. Avoid using the word to speak against yourself or to gossip about others. Use the power of your word in the direction of truth and love. Number 2, don't take anything personally. Nothing others do is because of you. What others say and do is a reflection of their own reality, their own dream. When you are immune to the opinions and actions of others, you won't be the victim of needless suffering. Number 3, don't make assumptions. Find the courage to ask questions and to express what you really want. Communicate with others as clearly as you can to avoid misunderstandings, sadness, and drama. Number 4, always do your best. Your best is going to change from moment to moment. It will be different when you are healthy as opposed to sick. Under any circumstance, simply do your best, and you will avoid self-judgment, self-abuse, and regret. That's how it's written. Right off the bat, you can tell that this book's going to smack you in the face, right? Then, when you realize the depth of this book, poof, mind blown. So here we go. Let's talk about number 1. Be impeccable with your word. Can you imagine the amount of pain caused by what comes out of people's mouths? Of course you can. Are you thinking about the amount of pain you may have caused yourself? Nobody is innocent of this cursing another person with what comes out of their mouth, especially in anger or frustration. And probably the worst cursing of all happens in your mirror at home. The negative, hateful, self-destructive words we use on ourselves is most times worse than what others say about us. I think about how our children, hell, my children, grew up with a thought about themselves that I may have spoken to their innocent dream. To my children, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. In the book, Miguel Ruiz speaks about lives being a dream that is made up of all the agreements that we accepted in our life. And a huge concept here is that as children, the thing we don't have is a choice in most of our agreements, because we're told who we are, we're told what we believe, and who we can and cannot become based upon the limitations already set upon us. We're told who to love, who to hate. And the one that got me was that I had no choice, even in my name. And that's another story. But the longer we live a life of given agreements, the harder it is when we finally decide to make our own dream world, if ever. I started looking at some of my own self-judgments, and I found that a lot of them originated with a word being spoken to me, about me. And again, it was something in me that agreed with those words. Like, I was too short for this. And then I thought about being taller. That's all I wanted to be, was taller, like my dad. Right? I was too skinny for one thing in the beginning, because after that, all I did was 8 and 8. I was 10, okay? I didn't know about working out. I knew if I ate more, I got bigger. And then what happened? I became too fat to do something. And I'm spending the rest of my life recovering from that one. The point is, being impeccable with your word is a full circle journey. It's going to encompass all your conversations with everyone you love, including yourself. The determining factor is your choice to change something. All right, let's keep going. Agreement number 2. Don't take anything personal. As I like to say it, it's not all about you. And let me do some clarification. See, she said this about me, not about you. She told me that she thinks I'm awesome. That's not about you. Okay, it's not a problem, but it's nothing that you get to control. What did I say to make him hangry? Hangry? Angry. That's not about you either. See, somebody else's words thoughts or actions, even to you, has nothing to do with you alone. Now, I say alone because it's obvious that it's you that they dislike or have a problem with. But what you need to grasp is that it's their perspective that created whatever action came to you. The thing about suffering, who hasn't obsessed over what someone else was doing against you or thinking about you? We suffer because all we want to do is be part of something. And what they're saying is keeping us out. Sometimes we need to apply this agreement to our past agreements that we accepted, from overbearing family and friends, people who harmed us, people that had influence over us but not our best interest in mind, bullies, teachers, pastors, bosses, employees, men, women, children. All the aforementioned was operating out of the only thing they knew how. We all are operating from our own perspective, creating our own dream. And that's where each person draws our responses. Once again, the point is it's happened before and it's going to continue happening. The only way to survive is to be immune to taking on the weight of the things we cannot control. Moving on. I think I'm just going to stop with 2. We've looked at the first 2 agreements. Are you feeling inspired to go get or reread that book that was given to you, children? Excuse me. Be impeccable with your word and don't take anything personally. Are you going over words that you maybe spoken not so impeccably? Or remembering words that actually left scars on you? Do you see yourself or do you know somebody suffering from the everything is about me syndrome, taking everything personally? Do you want to change anything? I'll tell you the way I started with this book, because I had a lot of work on, right? But I took one agreement at a time because I needed to be better. I needed to have a better version of me. And from experience, everything got better. And that's why I give this book away. Because I believe this world, this dream of mine, gets better one person at a time. And it always starts with me. So next episode, I'll finish with the other 2 agreements, which are don't make assumptions and always do your best. There's so much more to talk about. I thank you for listening, and I ask you to use the links that are in the description of this podcast, and get my book, The C Word. You can find me on YouTube, and I'll put those links in the description also. And the A Great New You website. I love to interact, so thank you guys who sent messages and stuff like that. And I always get back to you. Also, I am in fact a certified life coach. So I also have 2 more links in the description for connection calls. I'll have 30-minute connection calls and 1-hour personal coaching connections via phone or Zoom. All that to let you know that you don't have to seek out the answers or move forward by yourself. Someone's here. Someone knows what's happening. So once again, thank you. This has been Semaj Ramal Crawford. I leave you in the love and the light of the infinite Creator. Go forth, therefore, and rejoice in the power and the peace of the one infinite Creator. Namaste. That wraps it up for today's episode. I appreciate you all for listening and watching this podcast. It matters to me. If you'd like to go deeper on any topic, we have additional resources linked in the show notes. If you're getting value from this show or have feedback, feel free to reach out to me at semaj@agreatnewyou.com or by leaving us a rating here. Thanks for listening. Namaste.